Hey, all right. Brad Mcleod here, SealGrinderPT.com. And this is our latest Zoom podcast. Our guest today is Chris Smith Jr. I've actually known Chris for, I don't know, man, I think maybe since about 2010.
Yeah.
We met out in Southern Cal working on a project out there, a fitness project. And yeah, we just kind of kept in touch over the years. And I'd actually put together a list. You've been on my list forever. I haven't done a ton of interviews, but it's like, who do I want to interview this year? And your name was definitely on there. Actually, Zach Evanesh, I want to get back in touch with him. And yeah, just people that have had a big impact on my life. Chris is one of those guys, man. He's a huge inspiration. He's one of the first Black African-American Navy SEALs. That's quite a feat there. And he's been on numerous overseas deployments. He's been in different units that I can't even say the name of. But here recently in the last few years, you started your own CrossFit gym, done really, really well with that. And the list goes on of the different things that I could, talk about with Chris. But yeah, I'm just going to kind of throw it out there and you just tell us about yourself. I've actually done a couple of car rides with Chris, and I've heard chunks of it. I'm just like, wow. But yeah, tell us where you grew up and about, your mom and dad and family. And
Yeah.
so yeah, go for it, man.
Dude, I'm telling you, man, this may sound kind of funny, Brad. I know we've known each other for a long time, but I'm just an average normal dude. Like, I'm an average normal dude that comes from Kansas.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's no oceans in Kansas. There's no water.
Yep.
It's hot.
Yeah.
There's no reason I should have joined the Navy and became a Navy SEAL coming from Kansas. But
wow.
Anyway, my dad, 26 years, Air Force, traveled around a lot. So I think I got that travel bug, or that like seeing different cultures, meeting different people, just being able to talk to different types of people, to be engaged, to make friends easily. I kind of got that from the beauty of being a military brat, if you say you will, mom, average dad, just legit. Yeah. My mom worked for Hallmark Cards for, Jesus, probably 30, 40 years, whatever. She still lives in Leavenworth, Kansas. I still talk to her 2 or 3 times a week. She's still my inspiration. Every time I have problems, even stuff that's going on today, I called her up. I'm like, man, I never knew the color of my skin was so heavy. She's like, yeah, well, blah, blah, blah. And she goes on and just continues to teach me lessons as well. So yeah, high school, college in Kansas. Before I got in the military, I worked for Westinghouse. Actually, before I got in the military, I worked for McDonald's for 3 hours. And I realized immediately, this is not the job for me. No.
Yeah, I know, you figured that one out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, more praise to him, man. That's some tough work. Working on a line like that. Yeah.
Ooh, yeah, that just didn't resonate with me for some reason. But anyway, went on. I went to go work for Westinghouse. I worked for Westinghouse as an electrical engineer there for 9 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and that was the last job I did before I decided to join the Navy. Right. Prior to Westinghouse, or kind of in the middle there, I worked for Walmart for almost a decade as well. Yeah. So needless to say, I'm not a young man anymore. I'm 53.
All right, yeah, you don't look at it. Don't look at it all, man. Hey,
because I cut all my hairs off and keep all the grays out,
Yeah, no, man, you're looking good. But well, how in all of that, how did you become interested in, becoming a Navy SEALs? Like I say, you're in the middle of Kansas. You're just not not really that influence, other than your dad being in the service. And so where did all that come from?
Yeah, it comes from kind of 2 places for me, honestly. So like I said, I was doing great. I had a nice professional job, had a company car, had a pager, pager, which was like big deal back then, right? So I was living on the high horse, everything. That's in my late 20s. But during that time, maybe when I was 23, 4, 5, somewhere in there, I don't know if you remember this movie, but the movie Red Dawn. Remember that movie?
Oh yeah,
that movie, literally, brother, just changed my life.
Really? Wow.
It changed my life in a sense that I recognized that I had no skills.
Yeah.
I was a good athlete. I was a triathlete. We didn't really have ultras and stuff back then, but I was doing long distance stuff, running, biking, kind of swimming and that kind of stuff. And it was just
Yeah.
traditional like triathlete. But I
Yeah.
realized I had no skills. And
Right.
for some reason, that movie resonated with me to a point I'm like, if anything happens to my family or this country, I could not be of service and I could not help
Oh,
because
wow.
I had no skills.
Yeah.
Didn't really know how to fight that well. I was super skinny. I was like 130 pounds.
Right.
Didn't know how to shoot. Didn't know how to kill things to eat. Had no idea how like to make
Wow.
anything happen. So
Yeah.
that movie was just, it triggered me to go like, I need to go find some skills.
Yeah.
Secondary to that, I knew somewhere in my heart or my head or just passion that although I was doing well at triathlon, I was doing well at, running and stuff, but I knew deep down inside, like when you look at the man in the mirror, you know when you're giving your 100% and you know
Oh,
you're
yeah.
giving your 70% and you know you can give more, but you really don't know how to, you just don't know how to give anymore because you just don't find yourself in those adverse situations. You just don't find yourself in those harder situations. So
Yeah.
I was kind of looking for something to push me to kind of figure out like what I'm really made of, who I really am,
Oh,
what
yeah.
I have really, what can I give,
Oh, yeah.
all those
Yeah. You're
things about,
speaking my language now. That's
yeah,
right.
right.
Yeah. That's,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like I just needed to know, like what I was kind of made of, what I was capable of.
Oh,
Yeah. I wanted to taste that little failure or like, wow, that was really hard. Can I fail, come back and succeed again? I just kind of felt like I needed to know all those things. I wanted to know all those things. And at that time, unlike now, there's a billion books and a billion movies about the SEAL teams. But back then it
yeah.
was like nothing, dude.
Yeah.
You remember, man, like there was no information. There's like one book out,
What year did you go to Buds?
I went to Buds in 1994, 95, maybe. Somewhere around
Yeah.
there. Yeah, class 205, started in class 205, graduated class 207. So
Yeah.
way back, bro. Way back.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I
Yeah.
hear you. Yeah. Yeah. There wasn't a lot of information out back then. And in fact, all I had read was just like a couple of paperback books that, yeah, I'd gotten, wherever in town. And so, yeah, there wasn't like, the whole, obviously, the interweb and
Yeah.
Netflix and all this other information out there.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, well, tell me this, I mean, you've always been a really fit dude. What was hard? I mean, SEAL training, like what got to you? What was, I mean, I could tell you 7 things that crushed me, um, but yeah, for you,
Yeah.
what was the hard, cause I just see a guy like you, man, just being like, just
No, dog,
crushing it on the run. And after,
that
of
is
course,
not
I mean, yeah,
that is not the case, man.
really.
Like Buds was hard.
Yeah.
Buds was expressly hard. But I think that's why the program is designed. You have to be mentally tough.
Yeah.
You have to know and understand your why. You have to be committed to the cause. You have to have a real reason to graduate that program.
Yeah.
And I felt I did, but that program, it whittles away all your negatives, all the things that are holding you back. It like expresses those things really, really well. Don't know if you know, but when I went to Buds, I was 130 or 133 pounds. So whopping,
Wow.
dude. Yeah. Skinny, like so skinny. And I was 29 years old. So I joined
Yeah.
the Navy when I was
Oh,
29.
wow. Yeah.
Yeah. I started my
Yeah.
Buds class just before my 30th birthday, which is
Yeah.
the last time you can actually start.
Oh, wow.
So
Yeah.
yeah, old and super skinny.
Yeah.
So needs to say cold was, I'm shaking my head. I don't know if you guys can see that, but cold was one of the things I really, really, really had to just like to embrace.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
felt like I was cold took me a year to get out of Bud, 6 months. And then, the 6 months, I felt like I
Yeah.
was cold for a year,
Yeah.
like an entire year.
Yeah.
That was really rough for me. I don't know if you know this either though, but I can't quite confirm, so I don't want to be a liar, but I do think I still hold the record for the lowest rectal body temperature ever in Buds.
That's quite an accomplishment. Yeah, because
Yeah,
I'm
right.
sure there's been some cold
Some cold
buttholes
dudes.
out
Yeah.
there. I mean, there's been some guys that you're just thinking they're just gonna. Well, you do. You see them hype out. I mean, it's just
Yeah.
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 Yeah, the cold was tough for me being a Florida boy. You know, I mean, other than jumping in a cold swimming pool, I hadn't been around anything like that. And
Yeah.
just you know how it is. It's day after day, and that's just you're
Yeah, it's
always
a
dreading
grind,
it.
man.
So
It's a
that
grind.
was probably the hard. I mean, all the athletic stuff was hard for me, but having the cold too, and I didn't weigh a whole lot then. I didn't have a whole lot of body fat, but yeah, I think it just crushed me mentally being a Florida guy. I'm just like, oh, what?
Yeah.
Why
Yeah.
are we doing this again? Yeah.
Yeah, and coupled with that, remember I'm coming from Kansas. I lived in California for a little while, but the ocean
Yeah.
wasn't my strong suit. So I bet you I'd probably been in the ocean like 9, 10 times prior to going to Buds,
Yeah.
which was so all that was really new. It was exciting, but it was really new. But I just didn't understand like how much cold water can just like make you want to change your mind. Like if you don't have
Oh
good
yeah.
resolve, if you don't have a good solid why, if your purpose isn't clear, that cold water will take it out of you. I liked all the
Yeah.
stuff on land. I was really good at the O course. I could run all right.
I see you
Good.
crushing the
Yeah,
other
right.
course, man. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Um,
I posted up a pretty good time for the O course. Might still be standing as top 5, 10 times, whatever.
oh
But
my gosh. Yeah.
yeah,
Wow.
but anything in the water was just scary. You
Yeah.
know, it's just scary. Every time I'm like, hey, we're gonna run to the pool. I'm like, oh,
So
oh,
here we go again.
hit the
Yeah.
surf. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, just
Yeah.
dreadful, you know. But like I said, I was searching for the things that's gonna make me a stronger individual, searching for
Yeah.
skills, and I knew that's like in my mind, it was the most elite place you could go to test yourself.
Yeah.
I remember there was a guy named Bruce in my high school. I was working at Walmart. Yeah, like 6 years before I joined, I was working at Walmart, and one of our top high school players, best football player, baseball player, all the chicks liked him. I said Adonis Body, he was like the man, and I hadn't seen him in a long time, and he'd come back, and he just was chiseled, but his face had changed. Like
Yeah.
his face had changed, like something happened. I was like, oh, Bruce, what's up, bro? He's like, yeah, man. I'm like, where you been? He's like, dude, I was in the Navy. I was in the hardest training ever. And like you said, not a lot of information about Buds. And it piqued my curiosity because this guy could accomplish anything.
Oh really? Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he was good at everything. And he said,
Yeah.
you know, it was quiet then. It was like, shh, the specialized training. You know, nobody
Yeah.
knew that much about it. And I was like, that's where I'm going. That's what
Yeah.
I'm going to go test myself with that.
Yeah.
That was
You
my
know, yeah.
first.
That's the way I
first
saw it. Yeah. Like ultimate test for right then. You know.
yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Well, yeah. How I got to ask you the question. I mean, how was that? You know, coming into the Navy, especially the SEAL teams. You know, as a black guy. I mean, were you?
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
you know, what extra challenges did you face? You know, with all of that. I mean, I know it's got to be. It's hard enough for anybody to get through the training. You know, so
Right.
it's like, you know, so. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
talk a
there were
little bit
5
about
black
that.
guys in my class, I think. 5 black guys in my class. Yep. 2 of us graduated. The rest just kind of faded away. But as far as like, I look at it comically now, even though we're in this situation today where Black Lives Matters and all this stuff is going on. But my general personality just in life is I don't really let too many things bother me.
No.
And you know, being a SEAL, you just can't let too many things bother you. But I didn't let too many things bother me. But I can remember a lot of specific reasons, but 2 specific things that stood out to me when I first joined the Navy. First, I'm a grown man joining the Navy. I had a
Yeah, you're
full-on
older.
professional career.
Yeah, I went in at 19.
Yeah. So and again, you're young enough and strong enough and everything's still working and everything's great. So I joined, I was 29 years old. So I had a life. I got a lot of experience. I got a lot of ideals. I went to the recruiter. I'm like, hey, Mr. Recruiter, dude, man, don't mess with me, bro. Just do these things, process my paperwork. I'm gonna go be a SEAL. He's like,
Yeah.
well, one of this, one of that. But anyway, I remember being in a boot camp. That's back when we wore dungarees and do you remember the steel-toed boots? I forget what they're called, but they were heavy.
Yeah.
And they're like, all you guys that want to go do, you know, be a SEAL, you got a special PT test coming. There's like 30 dudes in my, what are they called, divisions? Yeah, 30 dudes in my divisions.
Yeah.
And, you know, the whole division did the PT test. They pulled us aside and said, you guys got a special PT test. So all 30 of us, there were probably, I'm making this up, maybe 9, 10, 12 black guys there. Everybody else was just a regular dude or whatever.
Yeah.
And they pulled all the black guys aside, right? and they gave us all an extra canteen of water. And I'm like, oh, okay, what's that for? And I'm like, they're like, what's the water for? He says, sickle cell, boy, sickle cell. Sickle cell anemia. I'm like, an extra canteen of water is not going to do anything for sickle cell. So they made us run with an extra canteen full of water, which I thought was super comical, super funny. Anyway,
yeah. So he thought, just because of the color of your skin, you already endemically had this trait. And you're just like, what?
I was like, what? Yeah.
Yeah.
And then actually I got into buds. It's pretty cool. There's a ton of people in our class. I think we started with 150, 60 people in there, maybe 156 people. Whatever, maybe a handful of black guys in there, maybe 5 or 6 black guys in there. And I remember day 1, the O course. Remember, this is the first thing that you do, the O course. And coming out of PTR, which is the prep, PTR, we kind of set times on who's the fastest and the slowest. The fastest guys are up front, slowest guys in the back of the line. Well, I was one of the fastest guys, so I was going first. So brand new instructor cadre comes out there, get online, we start running the O course, and I forget what it's called, but it's climb the rope, ring the bell, climb back down the rope. What's that obstacle called again?
No, I can visualize it,
Yeah, I can't remember the name of it, but I remember I'm cruising that, I go into the ropes, I run across the logs, I'm climbing the rope, and I'm hitting the bell, and this instructor is like, hey, Smitty, black guys can't swim. I'm like, who y'all, instructor, whatever. And I come back, I finished, and then and I crush it, dude. I was like, dude, all right, I'm crushing it.
Yeah.
I'm resting and stretching, how you do, and everybody else is still doing the O course. And then the very next evolution was the life-saving test. Right? So everybody gets together, we run over to the pool deck. You got your boots on, your pants on, or your top on, your hat and everything. Onto the high dive, jump off the high dive, tread water.
Right.
And tread water for like 30, 40 minutes, and you have to take off your boots and stuff. I failed that, bro.
Oh, yeah.
3 hours. 3 hours into buds, I fail.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
3 hours. Let me set this up for you, Brad. 3 hours in the buds, I failed the evolution.
Yeah.
6 years ago, the thought of me wanting to become a Navy SEAL pops into my head. It takes me 6 years from the thought when it comes into my head to when I actually join the Navy.
Right.
During that 6 years, I'm working, I'm doing all these things, but I'm telling every single person that I know, that I love, that I care about, that I'm going to join the Navy, become a Navy SEAL.
Yeah.
Everybody.
That's your support group, man. And
Dude.
Accountability. I love it.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? Cut all ties, do the thing, join the Navy, fucking crush the O course. Second evolution, 3 hours in, I fail.
Wow.
Find myself standing in front of the man on the grinder with someone else gets to decide my fate.
Yeah. I've been there. I got included out of buds the first time. So I'm here. You keep going, man.
Man.
It hurts me just to even. I've been in those shoes, man, and it sucks.
It sucks, man. It completely sucks because I was getting stronger that 6 years. I was getting strong. My mind's right. I was trying to develop some little toughness. I'm doing all these things. I'm learning. And I recognize that Mr. Smith, me, Chris Smith Jr., puts his fate in someone else's hands. The budget's fairly simple. You know it, dude.
Yeah.
You either do it or you don't do it. You
Yeah.
either pass or you don't pass. There's no gray area.
Right.
So me, 7 other dudes, 5, 6, 7 other dudes, a couple black guys, a couple white guys, whatever. We're sitting in front of the man, the bell's just right there, and we're waiting for the CO or the CO to kind of tell us if we're going to be in the regular Navy, if we're going to get a second chance in buds, or we're going to paint rocks or sweep sand or whatever, man. And it crushed me so bad.
Yeah.
I recognize, it's on me. We have a lot of talk about what I'm talking about right now, which is accountability, self-ownness, all that stuff is on me. And I recognized it back then that, dude, I just squandered this opportunity. I just lied to every single person that I cared about.
Oh, man. That's so,
Everybody, brother.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody. And then my savior came. I don't know. What class were you in? You in the
I was in
150?
132.
God damn, that's y'all a
I,
long time
I won't
ago.
do I started in 125, and I was just I failed the math test, and
Yeah.
it was for the better. It was best thing that ever happened to me. But yeah, let's continue, man.
Yeah.
That's a tough
So
road
yeah,
to get
so
down right
dude,
there.
just crushing. You're just looking up like, oh my God. I remember, dude, I love this country. I will continue to serve this country. I wanted to serve my country. Remember, I wanted to gain some skills and I wanted to be a Navy SEAL. And
Right?
all that was up to somebody else right now.
Wow. Yeah.
Like, but saying all that, dude, I really did not want to be in the Navy. I was looking around, I'm like, I don't think I want another job in the Navy. This is
Yeah.
not what I signed up for. Really, a good
Yeah.
job, good girlfriend, all that real
Yeah.
life. I'm like going to be a regular sailor in the Navy. Not that that's a bad job. That's just not what I wanted.
I hear you. Yeah.
I wanted to be a freaking Navy SEAL. That's what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
So we're online. We got, like I said, a handful of people, 5, 6, maybe 3, 4, 5 black guys, some white guys. I remember, whatever, another dude in there. And Senior Chief Goward, I don't know if you remember him, but Senior Chief Goward came and he's got his pants all hiked up to his belly and he's walking up and down the line. We're all just sitting there popping two, just waiting for someone else to give us what the rest of our life is going to look like for the rest of this enlistment. And he's walking up and down. And he's like eyeballing us like if you can kind of picture a Marine drill sergeant. He's got that same intensity looking at us.
Oh, yeah.
Right. And he's talking to the group. He's all like, dude, you guys just don't understand. And he's focusing on the 3 or 4 black guys here. You guys just don't understand. See, you think this is about you. This isn't about you, my friend. This is about something bigger. What he was talking about was the brotherhood. What he's talking about is this selfless service committed to a cause to protect this country.
Right.
Because what we were thinking about was, I can't tread water anymore because I'm tired.
Yeah.
I can't get my boots untied because I can't hold my breath.
Right.
That's self-thinking.
Right.
Right. And then he says something like, I don't remember specifically, but it says something like, he goes on, he's like, hey man, this isn't about you. It's about a bigger purpose. Right. It's about a bigger purpose. Here's what I'm going to do for you.
Right.
Right there. He hit me with it. Think about it. Here's what I am going to do for you. I'm going to give you this silver bullet.
Yeah.
He's going to vouch for us.
Yeah.
Then he sets his expectation. I expect you to pass that event. I expect you to graduate. And I'm like, fuck. It hit me so hard, Brad. I was like, this really isn't, I got the chills just thinking about that. Like literally.
Yeah, and that's something, man, like I do the same thing. I'll tell stories from back and I'm like, damn, dude, I can still feel it like it was yesterday.
Feel it.
Yeah. Yeah. You're so tied to that moment emotionally.
Yeah.
It's powerful.
Man, you got to be able to separate. You got to have a big enough why. We talk about it in my Trident mindset, like having that intentionality, having that purpose and everything. But what amazed me was this. He said, basically he's telling us, I'm going to go to bat for you. I'm going to go tell the CO to give this whole group another chance. Right?
Really?
Yeah. So I think it might be 7 or 8 people. I can't remember exactly, but 7 or 8 guys. Dude, we go right back to the pool. Right? So it's a 1-mile run to the CO.
Really?
Get on the grinder. Get a freaking dress down.
I thought you were getting ready to go to the fleet.
Dude, so was I.
That's a
Dude,
big
he's
turnaround.
like, back to the pool.
Wow.
We're like, boom, whole class runs back over to the pool. They put everybody else on the deck. All you guys get on the high dive, jump down, treading water, treading water, treading water. It's like a 30, 45-minute tread water, right? Treading water. Take off your boots. Hold your breath. Go and tie your square knots. Put your boots around your neck. Take off your pants. Take off your shirt. Make the floaty thing and do it. And I pass.
Wow.
3 out of the 7 people passed.
Oh, wow.
Right?
Wow.
But if you talk about, I mean, let's just think about this. Now I'm old and I can kind of realize, then I'm like, fuck, I owe this man a lot because he vouched for me. Right? And it's super emotional there. But I realized in the 1 mile from when I got the lecture to we go back in the water, I didn't get any stronger.
Right.
I didn't learn how to swim any better.
Yeah.
I couldn't tread water any better. I'm more tired.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
So what changed?
Yeah. Yeah. Your mind,
brain,
your attitude. Right? Yeah, I completely agree, man.
Man, the toughness changed, man. The idea, the purpose, the intent, the responsibility, the accountability.
Yep.
all that changed in that very moment. And it just set me on the path of like, yeah, dude, you got to earn it, but you got to earn it. Yeah.
Oh
And it was
yeah.
like, it was pivotal for me. I'm like, holy Jesus. Yeah.
Well, so how does a moment like that and the lesson that you learned right there, you started one of the biggest, CrossFits on the, in your whole region, I'd say,
Mhm.
you're in the DC area. You've had a very successful CrossFit up there. I mean, talk about that as a, being an entrepreneur and getting a business up from just a piece of paper,
Yeah.
lead all the way through getting it. I mean,
Yeah.
talk a little bit about that, because that's a huge challenge too, that I know a lot of our listeners, definitely can relate to, from a
Yeah.
business standpoint
Yeah. You
and
can
even a
boil it
community
down.
standpoint. Yeah.
Yeah. You can boil it down to like purpose, clarity, and intent, right? Like, hey, if you're going to start a business, well, we look at the CrossFit gyms world. You either start a business or you start a hobby gym, one of those two things. I want to start a business. I want to
Mhm.
support my community. But the thing that you have to have is a clear picture of what you're trying to do.
Mhm.
Like me and my wife own now it's called Trident Community Fitness, not Trident CrossFit, but we own Trident.
Oh.
And we never actually started Trident to host exercising. Like the intent wasn't to just exercise in the gym. The intent, even back, we're 10 plus years old now, the intent was to start a community, to build a community. And now I know more about building deep and meaningful relationships. That's really what it is. You
Mhm.
can go get exercise, you can go get free exercise, you can pay for exercise, you can get all kind of training programs. That's not really what we were trying to do, right? I really wasn't trying to just tie my boots and save my life in the water. I wanted to be a Navy SEAL.
Right.
I don't really want to just think about exercise inside my gym. I want to build a community where people feel safe, where they just want to come and bond, where they can
Mhm.
fellow. That's what I was trying to do. So I
Yeah.
have in state in mind first, with clarity, I can get through the wickets to make that happen.
Right.
Only focusing on what workout we're going to do tomorrow, dude, it's not going to last very long.
Right.
Not going to last very long because you get tired, you get fatigued, you lose interest, all those things that happen. Why the same reason why people quit in everything else in their life, they can't quite see the big picture.
Right.
Yes, you have to have micro goals. Yes, you have to have steps to help you move forward, but you
Yeah.
cannot lose sight of the big picture. This is bigger than you, boy.
Oh yeah, man. I completely relate. I mean, when you're talking about that, I'm going back to when I was there at Buds and just just our boat crew, the Smurfs. Without them, I would not have made it through. There's no way. Without my swim buddy, I wouldn't have made it through. I'm not going to be one of those guys. I don't say it. I never thought about quitting at Buds. I
Oh,
thought about it a lot. But I damn sure didn't get up and go walk and ring that bell. And
yeah,
so, but that's, I'm saying all of that in a way is that community that was there, that helped the whole tribe move. We moved the boat forward.
absolutely.
And so, yeah, that's, such a huge thing in the CrossFit community. And I hate to see them, being kind of, torn apart right now. I hate to see that because, I used to own a CrossFit gym myself back in the day and swept the floors on a couple of other ones. And
Yeah,
I always loved that community. That was something that kept me coming back.
yeah,
And, you know, that's something that we experienced there in the military. We experienced there at Buzz, and
yeah.
you got a feel of that again, where it was competitive, but not, too competitive. It was,
Yeah.
just a good
Bonding,
place to
really.
go. Yeah. You go sweat with somebody, the bonding that goes on there. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, talk about that a little bit right now. I mean, what's your, with Greg Glassman and CrossFit and all that.
Yeah.
I saw, you mentioned earlier, I guess the name of your gym has been
Yeah, we're
changed.
changing, man. I think as a dude, I'm not trying to be a douchebag here, but I feel like I'm a pretty good leader. I have a community of people to lead.
Excellent leader.
Yep. I have responsibilities. I have obligations. I have loyalties.
Mm-hmm.
I feel betrayed that Greg Glassman saying what he's saying, whatever, because I think it just is fracturing the community, which we all love. We all love the tradesmanship of CrossFit. We all love the community of CrossFit, the bondsmanship of CrossFit. Like, dude, hey, let's go ride a bike. Okay, well, that's going to turn into something really, really fun, not just a bike ride. You know, whatever it is, we just love that culture that we've developed about community and the fun of community and striving forward and pushing each other to be better and better. Yep. I absolutely love that, and I will continue to fight for that. I don't want that to go away.
Yep.
Right. I'm a Black man. I have a big community, a big followership. Dude, I cannot support that type of behavior in a leader. Right. I just cannot support that type of behavior in a leader.
Right.
So I'm not supporting that type of behavior in a leader. I will work tirelessly and freely to disassociate that type of leadership and still try to preserve what CrossFit has done for the planet, what CrossFit has done for me and all the people that I know and building out the community. I will work tirelessly for that, because I think that's worth preserving, but I can't follow that type of leadership. If I follow that type of leadership, what the fuck kind of leader am I?
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Like you say, you have so many people that look to you for guidance, and especially in these times, more than ever, guys like you.
Yeah.
I mean, you're wanting to help them navigate like a sheepdog, and let's go through the valley here.
Yeah.
And you're that's the way I look at it, and they're all looking to you. It's like, okay, which way to go? I
struggle though, man. I struggle because, like I said, I'm Black. Yep, that's great. We got Black Lives Matter now, and yep, that's great. And I'm leading the community, and having remarks like that, I'm in a double fold. I'm like, dude, you just push baby in a corner.
Yeah.
You can't push baby in a corner, expect it not to come out good, dude.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to represent. I want to represent, and that's what I'm doing right now. And tough though, heartbreaking. I spend a lot of days on the phone crying to my friends right now, just about, wow, dude, where are we right now? It's such a crazy time, not just for CrossFit, not just for Black Lives Matter, not just because of the pandemic, but this trifecta of storms that we're in right now. People just don't have the wherewithal or don't have the tools necessary to kind of get themselves through this. And that's kind of another reason we kind of Trident Mindsets, to give some people some skills and some tools to kind of get them through these tough times, not just like this, but in the rest of their lives as well. So it's really, really critical that we all stick together as humans and try to make this a better place, So it's heartbreaking, like heartbreaking. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I firmly believe we're, across the globe, we need the best leadership that we can have. One that's, all inclusive. It's going to be, rights for everyone. Mm-hmm. And, it's guys like you, athletes like you, coaches like you that, I'm hoping that more and more people look to you for guidance to help them, get through this. We're in a storm,
we are in a storm.
We've had, back-to-back, major issues, and a lot of other things going on. I mean, we're not even, it's almost like we forgot about the environment.
Yeah. The rest of on the planet every day.
The water, the water, there's a lot of things going on around the world. And if anything, we've got to stick together now.
Yeah.
I know it's cliche to say, or kind of kumbaya, but, that's part of me wanting to reach out to you today, even to get your word out there. Is like, you could have you could have 1 or 2 minutes to talk to somebody, and help, not necessarily even change their mind, but just kind of give them a few words of guidance.
Yeah.
I know it's, a lot of people are so set in their ways right now, but I mean, what's, something that comes to your mind that if you wanted to have that impact,
man,
with an athlete in front of you, or another business owner, someone getting ready to go into Navy SEALs, or someone just like, hey, what's going on out there?
Yeah, dude, I gotta tell you, man, my life is not life is simple, but I think about things very simply. And the first thing that comes to my mind every single time is like, just be kind to people, right? Just be kind to people. Right now we're in this space where everybody's wearing masks, or some people not wearing masks, whatever. And there's this distance that we're creating, this social distance, which I don't really like that term so much. I'd rather see a physical distancing. We don't need to be socially disengaged with each other. Yeah, we don't want to spread the coronavirus any more than we have, any more than it's spreading already. But let's not forget that we're still human beings. We should still treat each other kindly. We should still talk
Right.
to one another. We should still, don't be afraid. I know it's so weird. I don't know if my wife is white and she's really struggling with the white privilege thing. And it's just so weird that I don't want people to be so on either side of the spectrum, so afraid to ask questions that you can't learn something new, or so overboard that you keep asking a bunch of dumb questions. You know, we need to find this little happy space in the middle where it's just like, dude, I'm just a regular human. I don't know. Oh, I didn't know what I said was offensive. Well, if I don't tell you that I feel offended by that, well, why would you ever know? So we got to find a space where we all feel comfortable just having conversations about what's going on and not just making assumptions about how someone else feels. I want to see more people say, "You're welcome." What do I mean by that? Hey, dude, if I express gratitude and say thank you, just don't blow it off and try to validate me saying thank you to me. Just say you're welcome, man. I appreciate that comment. You know what I mean? You don't have to we don't always have to overqualify every single thing that we're doing. We don't need to continually be on social media looking for someone else to give us support or likes or thumbs up in a space where I don't even know this person.
I hear you.
Your own social circle for a little bit.
Yeah, social media can definitely have, I mean, it has, you know, like with any tool or technology or what have you, things can have a good side and a bad side. And I see that with social media is that, you know, the meme culture of just, you know, posting up, you know, whatever meme and, you know, nothing beats, you know, being able to talk to another person on the phone, or even now, you know, obviously Zoom and all of that, or talking to a person face to face. And, you know, my neighbor and I've gotten a bad habit of texting him, and he texted me the other day. He's like, just come over and talk. It's like, there's just a hedge between the two of, you know what I'm like? And I'm like, you're right. I'm right. I mean, he's right. I'm wrong. Get off your damn phone and just walk over there and say, hey. And, you know, this is 3 weeks ago. It's the pandemic or whatever. I didn't get up in his space, you know, but we're just, we're just talking in his backyard, like neighbors do. It's okay.
Neighbors
to do
do,
that.
like neighbors should do, right? We've kind of forgotten about that.
Yeah, and that's only like one of many examples how we can get a little too drawn into the phone or social media and just forget that, people can have, if you have conversations and communication, there's a lot higher chance that you may find common ground. And, you know, it's just when people start throwing these memes on Facebook and go, oh, he's that, or he's that. And, you know, someone could easily say, say I'm this because I was in the military, you know, or, you know, I occasionally shoot an AR-15. Does that make me a militant, you know? So, I think we got to be real careful with that.
There's a big thing, or a friend of mine told me these two words the other day, and I've been just mulling on. She told me about 3 days ago, and I've just been mulling over what she said. She goes, well, we need to make sure that our intent gets the desired impact. With social media, that can get kind of strewn about, because I can write something and you can receive it completely different than how I meant it. So my intent was not, I wasn't able to convey my intent. So the impact was dramatic, right? But if we can kind of go face to face a little bit, I'm like, oh, wow, I saw your facial expressions change. Apparently I upset you. Let me try to reframe what I was saying. I like your hat. That doesn't mean I don't like all your other hats. You know, so intent and impact are huge for me right now. Just say, hey man, say you choose the right words, and don't be afraid to go, wow, those were the wrong words. Let me try these other words. I'm trying to communicate with people. You know, so I'm totally open. Dude, people can call me, text me, email me, come to my house, come to my gym, whatever. I'm here for one reason, Brad. That's to find a better way to create deep and meaningful relationships. I know my clarity is to help people become better humans. That's what I'm here for.
When you said that earlier, I wrote that down as a note, you know, about your intent and desired impact. And if just by sending a meme or sending a text or even an email, someone can read into it some preconceived bias, or they don't know the true intent. But when we give more cues like
Yeah.
us just
Yeah.
talking right now, or even my expression, or if I was to, you know,
Yeah.
you, all of those cues like that help you to better formulate an idea of where this other person is coming from.
Yeah.
And that that's missing. That's one of many pieces that's missing right now, because
Yeah.
we're spending way more time on social media, and I'm as guilty. But I mean, that's even, the purpose of this Zoom call, instead of just doing a email interview, or
Yeah.
we could
Exactly.
have blackened the screen. I mean, nobody wants to look at my ugly mug anyway. Um,
Yeah.
but we're giving these extra cues of, how is a person responding to these questions? What, like you're saying, even your passion about talking about that moment at Buzz made you actually,
Dude,
the
completely changed everything,
yeah,
I've been
yeah,
talking to my mom like every other day now, but before I was texting my mom and she would always say, why don't you just call me and talk to me for a minute? Of course, Chris is too busy because I got all this stuff going on. So I sent her a little text,
yeah,
and like, I didn't realize that, dude, she just wants to hear my voice.
yeah, yeah,
She's
yeah.
known me my whole life. She knows when I'm
Mhm.
sad or happy or upset or whatever, just by the way I'm speaking.
Yep.
That's what she wants to hear, because she can't feel those feelings. She can't sense those feelings in letters.
Yeah, no,
You know?
I
Like,
mean,
oh, makes
words and
sense.
your speech, and
Yeah,
how you speak can does have a huge impact on everyone around you. Yeah, I
absolutely.
mean,
So I don't want to lose that connection by everybody trying to be so accepting that I think people are different. Love those differences. Celebrate those
yeah,
differences. Don't be racist or mean about those differences, but just, hey man, we're different people.
yeah,
Like, oh, I appreciate you for your differences, whatever those differences may be,
yeah.
instead of
It,
assuming those differences make you somebody else. Yeah,
it is okay to be different.
it's okay to be different,
Yeah,
But yeah, so it's a three-sided street. I don't know how many sided streets this is, but man, it's about conversation, communication, openness, willingness, acceptingness, awareness, all those things that we need to relearn or learn, depending on where you're coming from, right? But we just need to
yeah,
be aware of all these different things that are going on and just be okay.
yeah,
I think we're
no,
definitely gonna get through all this. That's for sure. I know for a fact we're gonna get through it, and I think we're gonna be better for it. But it's gonna take a little time. Yeah.
yeah. So I mean that, um, I mean, what would be one thing that, in terms of, like, with the whole racial thing? I mean, what is one thing that me, middle-aged white guy, what is this one thing I can take away today that, I can influence, or help others in my community, even to,
Yeah.
so
I think for me, man, like everything starts at the feet, right? At the feet in the community.
hmm
If I know COVID's out right now, so it's a little scarier, but I even think the same thing. I'm a black man. I own a gym, and I even reflect myself. I'm like, oh yeah, we're doing this. But I was talking to a friend, and he's like, well, CrossFit's expensive. So if you can't afford the price, you don't ever get the beautiful thing about CrossFit.
hmm
I'm like, well, what can I do to help the community?
hmm
So we're starting programs. We can go out and do little park workouts for kids that can't afford CrossFit,
yeah,
just to get, I know we're still in COVID. I understand that we need to be physically distanced, not social distance, physically distanced and be
hmm
safe and all that stuff. But it starts at the community level. It starts at the
right,
local level. If
yeah,
you reach out on the local level and ask what somebody needs, or ask how you can help, or ask how can you be involved, maybe one Saturday a month or something, At the
right,
gym, we go deliver furniture for people who don't have furniture. We were doing once every month, but now it's kind of spread off. But yeah, just trying to give back to the community a little bit. I think it just creates the fabric that we need at a local level that will grow into a big mass movement. So yeah, I'm just like,
yeah. No, I completely
change
agree.
the world, right? Change your world right where you are.
Yeah, yeah.
Start being involved in that.
Yeah, no, I completely agree, and that was actually one of the. I'm a board member of a group here in my local town, and that was one of the conversations there. Is, what is something that we can do that's action, and it actually had been on a list for underprivileged kids, getting them bikes and then taking them
Yeah,
on rides, because we go through one of the poorest communities on the south side of Tallahassee, en route to some of the best mountain biking trails. in this whole area. And more than once I've had a conversation or overheard another mountain biker saying, hey, it's, we rode through the neighborhood there, and some kids were asking us, where are you guys going biking? Where are you going biking? They're like, just down the road in Munson. And these kids were like, what is that? They had no clue how, most of them didn't have bikes to begin with. They didn't even know they were this far away from, a 4 or 5 star mountain biking area right there in this metropolitan area. They had no clue. And so that was actually on one of the lists that says, look, we need to get this project going.
So then my answer to your question is
on the shelf. And it's like, yeah. So, in
so
terms of
my answer
action,
to your
I know
question.
there's a lot more things that need to be done, but that was one of the first ones we thought about locally in our group and try to do something, action wise. So, yeah.
So that's the answer to my question. Do it.
Yeah, no, that's it. Now I'm accountable. I am definitely accountable to you and to others that I've already spoken to say this is going to happen. Like you said, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
With your story and how important that is, to have your word and do what you say you're going to do. So,
it takes like literally it takes just seconds to, oh, that's right. You know what? I'm not going to mountain bike today. I'm going to take a group of kids or kind of get it together, whatever. Say, let's get kids on a hike. They don't have bikes. Let's take them on a hike to show them the other part of Munson or other part of the park.
Yeah.
The problem is that we have a tendency to take the path of least resistance because we're humans.
Right.
And inherently we're lazy. We're not stoic. Right. Stoicism is one of the lessons in the 12 skills of Trident mindset, but I'm sorry, of Trident mindset. But we all talk about doing things and we find reasons not to do it.
Right. Yeah.
We find reasons not to do it. It takes half as much energy to just do it.
It happens to me sometimes. I mean, yeah.
Make that phone call when you have to make that, I should call somebody. Well, just call them.
Yeah.
I'm making it sound easier than it is, but it is easy as it is. Things in life, Brad, are only as difficult as you choose to make them.
Yeah, I know. I agree. I mean, we could talk for days on this subject, just the walls that we build around ourselves. But I mean, tell us more about Trident mindset and how you're helping, your athletes. I know you have a lot of people coming to you, not only in your gym space, but, online. And I mean, this has been going on for a while. I mean, how does that program work, and what are you trying to accomplish there?
Yeah. So, over the years, man, like we all kind of gain skills, we gain tactics, we gain techniques of how to become mentally tough, how to become more durable, how to become better leaders, better followers. All that stuff, I think it's been hard to acquire. Oh, I have to go somewhere to hang out for a weekend at Steelfit or whatever. I gotta go do something. So what we did, we kind of took 12 mental toughness skills on an online version, give you a new skill each day to work on, breath control, meditation, mindfulness, stoicism, discipline, meditation, flipping the script, choosing the wrench, all these different skills that you can get online. So yeah, it's a little hard to come and work with Coach Chris for 3 days, but I'm going to teach you these 12 skills just in a different forum. So here it's an easy online course. You get 14 days of 12 skills that you can hone. And following that, we have a monthly subscription program where we do monthly coaching, online coaching, virtual coaching, that you can subscribe to as well. So we're trying to take these skills and bring them to people in an easy fashion. They're not expensive. And by practicing these skills, by just, I'm going to say it again, doing it, creating action, having some accountability will teach you to be mentally tough. What is mental toughness? Mental toughness is the ability to be calmer, happier, and better disciplined.
Yeah.
Right? Reduce your stress.
Yeah, I need to take your course, man.
Dude, I'm so happy with this.
Learn and relearn. Yeah, there's so many. Even though you were talking about stoicism, and I've been subscribing to Ryan Holiday's podcast and listened to his books and all that. Yeah. And it just and I'm just barely scratching the surface on all these different subjects, and how, you know, how much your quality of life can improve, you know, just by, you know, deep breathing, meditation
Yeah,
alone. You know, not
yeah.
even, you know, now we're talking about, you know, stoicism, putting good things into your
In your
mind,
head.
just,
Yep.
you know, talking about how the, you know, these these leaders from, you know, Marcus Aurelius and all them,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
how the
Titus 3.
decisions they made, good and bad, and how things were affected. I mean, those those things, and that's only 3 of the 12 you're talking about.
Yeah.
Those
Yeah.
alone can have a huge impact on you, you know, over the course of days, weeks. You know,
Yeah, and all these things are like super practical. I mean, you can practice them. They're not like so wazoo that they're out of the ballpark and you need special skills or anything. We're giving you the skills. We're just trying to help you kind of get a ritual where you can learn things and execute things. I kind of take it to, we'll take 2 sports, golf. Hey, you know what? You can go golf with a full bag of golf clubs, you know, all the wedges, all the drivers. You can do all that stuff. Your golf game's going to improve. Or you can
right,
go to a golf course with 2 clubs,
right,
meditation and mindfulness.
right,
Well, yeah, you can play golf with 2 clubs, but it sure is better to have a few other skills in your backpack, right? So we're
right,
giving you more tools that you can use and giving you time to practice those tools. We're giving you exercises throughout for the month-long course, exercises throughout the month-long course to practice those. We're giving you accountability. We're putting you to the test. Like,
right,
we want to see you become a better person. And we
right,
know that these techniques, these tools can help you become a better person, where I think that I go to like reading books. Like right now, a lot of people are digesting a lot of written material,
mm-hmm,
right? Hey, I need to read this book on leadership, this book on self-growth, this book on personal relationships, this book on my love language, this book on all these different things, right?
right,
I think what we forget is, well, just by crunching through a bunch of books it helps us, but it doesn't help us that much.
mm-hmm,
Why don't we pick a book and study the book?
right,
You ask any man or woman of the cloth, whatever your faith is, if you watch them operate in their world, somebody will come to them with a problem set, and
mm-hmm,
they'll just like, boom, pull a passage out of the Bible or whatever you believe in, and they'll like relay that story to them to help them become a better person, to
right,
help them come up with a solution, because they did what we don't do. They choose not to read the Bible. Let me use the Bible in this example. They choose not to read the Bible.
right,
What's the difference? They choose to study the Bible.
right,
Where we choose to read books to get to the end, we forget to study what's in the book to become better.
right,
We forget to
right,
practice what we're learning.
right.
We forget to action what we're learning because we're
Yeah,
so worried about blasting through to get to the next book. We forget what the essence of what we're doing. So we've kind of slowed that down a little bit, that process down a little bit, and let you work through there. So it's been really,
yeah,
really good. One of my mentors, I can share this real quick. One of my mentors has me reading the same book,
right,
the same 10 pages.
yep,
I'm on 10 and a half weeks right now.
right.
He won't let me move on.
Yeah. No, I'm sitting here nodding my head, and that you can go into my back bedroom and there's whole stacks of books, especially from the 90s and or even, well, the 2000s, just stacks of mindset and um, you know, neuro-linguistic programming,
Yeah.
different, you know, or Tony Robbins, even, just, you know, a lot of really good positive mindset stuff. And I had picked that up, you know, it's probably from way back in the Stoics time.
Yeah. Yeah.
You really have to go deep dive into the paragraphs and actually study them. And that's what they were saying. Like a really good way for you to do this is, you know, you haven't read a book if you've only read it once. They would say, go
Right.
back through after
Right.
that and find things in that book and actually underline them, and then, or star them, or whatever system. And you would be amazed at how much you're soaking up like a sponge. You're
Yeah.
spending a little bit more time there. So you're getting it imprinted, you know, up into
And yeah,
up
your
into your
cortex
brain
is great.
at
Yeah.
a higher level. And
Yeah.
so I can definitely see how, I mean, just, you know, slowing things down and having a certain amount of repetition
Yeah.
and
Dude.
consistency can have a huge impact on your life over
Yeah. It's been
days, weeks,
absolute.
months, even years. Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
it's
it can
been
have a
absolute like mind blowing to me. I'm like, I've read these same 10 pages like freaking 60 times, and I still find things that I haven't read,
Yeah.
which is just blows my mind. I still
Yeah.
find things I haven't read. I'm like, I've read this paragraph like 40 times.
Yeah.
I still found something that I can gravitate to, that I can learn, that I can try to execute for that day, that I can try to practice that day so that I get better. So
Right.
now I'm coupling with, and this is what we do at Try to Mindset too. We give you an audio and written. You can either choose to do either or both.
Mm-hmm.
Doing it both. I don't know the last time you read some script and listened to the author talk, reading it same time. Dude, it's like a double punch in the temples. Bam!
Really? Wow.
Talking about getting in there quick, right? So you're
Yeah.
reading it and they're speaking it at the same time. It's been really, really, really powerful. A lot of scientists, a lot
I've
of
never done that.
yeah, dude, you should
Yeah.
try it with some. Yeah,
I've been
I'll
listening more
give you
to
access to this.
audiobooks here in the last. Yeah, I've got several books I've read through in the last year, but the audiobooks, I just driving in the truck and just get something up and go. Like you're saying, Ryan Holiday is a good one.
Yeah, yeah.
That I'd read, but the audios. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to try that. The double punch there.
Yeah.
Try to get
It
that
is. It's
in.
kind of crazy. You and I both know that the art of focus is focus and micros are absolutely they're important. They were important through Buzz. They're important to SEAL teams. They're important in our life now. Being able to have some clarity, some focus, and the idea of just focusing on just one thing, which is, I don't know. I struggle, brother. I got ADHD, DDD. I got all those D's, man. It's really, really hard for me to focus just on one thing. So having the ability to, like, I have a hard time with audiobooks and driving because I'm really focusing on driving. So I'm trying not to, but I'm still getting subconsciously the information. So really the reading and the listening right now have been really, really pivotal to me. And it also gives you time, we'll say critical thinking time, strategic thinking time, to sit back and go, this is what I'm doing. I'm sure you do breath work, right? You do some kind of meditation or some kind of space breath.
Yeah, evenings. That's my drill now. I just stay with it. I have a little system of box breathing, nothing, but I have like a little ritual that I do, and it really helps me in terms of consistency and trying to stay a lot more even. So it's just
Dude, I think everybody has whatever time works for you during the day. Is just carve some time out for self.
Yeah,
carve some time out for breath work, for reading, critical thinking, whatever it is. Just carve some time out of your day for you. It will set you up for success, whether it's in the evening or the morning, whenever it is for you.
Right.
Pat yourself on the back, give yourself a high five. Yeah, man, it's Chris Smith time. And don't let anybody steal those minutes from you.
No, I think that's a huge thing that you just said right there. And I try to reemphasize this to our athletes about, patting themselves on the back. And as goofy as that sounds, I think that can have a lot of impact because, so many times in life we're just bombarded with all this negative. And it's easy for us to get up in our own head and think, well, even just things like self-doubt or confidence or, it's easy for you to kind of spiel out something that's kind of negative right there. But having that time that you can work on your deep breathing, that you can have a ritual, that you can be consistent. I mean, I think all of those are things that can help you to work on those thoughts. And those are things that are going to help you propel forward instead of retreating into anxiety or depression. I mean, and I say all of this just in that we're in this pandemic now. I've been reading more and more. There's more and more increased cases of anxiety and depression out there. Because people are looking out there, and it's like a lot of times that picture is not very good. I mean, you bounce between CNN and Fox News, or MSNBC. What I'm saying is, like, if you just go through the channels there, man, it's like, whoa, everything's on fire and we're going downhill. And I know, and I'm not trying to say that there are not huge issues going on out there. I'm trying to say like that, people slowing down, taking that time to work on their body and mind, instead of, if I spend 5 minutes doing box breathing versus 5 minutes on CNN, Fox News, going back and forth, which one is going to help me more to be a strong leader tomorrow. Because I've essentially cleaned out my body, all my lungs, all of that. Maybe I've done a yoga pose or what have you. So I'm saying, I'm not saying put your head in the sand and don't watch news. I'm just saying, before you go to bed, it may be good to turn off the TV 15 minutes early from the chaos and go into some reading or, something that's going to help you consistently.
Yeah, you've hit like 4 or 5 of the lessons we put and tried at my in our mental toughness program. But the part that I want to really reach out to you is like, dude, being mentally tough reduces stress, reduces anxiety, keeps the calm, and makes you happy because it puts you back in control of your life. Right. Box breathing, meditation, focus, visualization, intentionality, all these skills that you have.
Right.
I'll give them to you. We can buy whatever. We can give you those skills, but using those skills, however you want to use those skills every day as a practice will make you a more happy human being.
Right.
And we all do it. Just imagine getting out of the car. People do it all the time. They get out of the car. They're in a hectic traffic. They get out of the car. They get to the house and they sit down and they go,
Yep.
It's breath control, man.
Yeah.
You feel the day
just like
wash over you a little bit.
Yeah, you're letting out that anxiety too, even with that kind of that motion that you're making, slumping the shoulders and all. And there's so many aspects of that it's good to crash out on the couch like that. But also, at the same time, if you have your breathing right, that like with the box breathing, where you're following the breath, and you're being able to kind of disengage the mind from that the subconscious negative. You can do that for even just a short period
of time.
And again, I'm saying all this is like, I'm just barely scratching the surface of that. What little bit I know. So it's guys like you and Coach Devine. I mean, I really, over the years, being turned on to that has had a big impact on me.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's funny. I don't know.
Simple as breathing. Damn.
Yeah. It's funny. Like, we'll go back to Buds for a second. And obviously we're younger men back then, and maybe didn't know we had a tool set of the things that we use now.
Right.
I guarantee you, we used this stuff back then.
Yeah.
Didn't have a fancy name. It wasn't all boxed up and pretty, and you can just go buy it. You had to find it, right? They made you find it, but you found it. You're like, I'm in this cold water, locking on the boys. I got to get back in control of my mind. I got to stop myself. Stop shivering.
I know.
You stop shivering for a little while. It's crazy. So it's in there.
Yeah.
You got to be able to figure out how to get it out.
I've told other people that. I think it was another podcast that said, my swim buddy that was next to me, he's like, we're over there we're shaking, we're exhaling, trying to tighten up, whatever. And he's like, think of a cup of coffee. And I was like, what? What are you talking about?
Exactly.
Like, think of a cup of coffee. And we were and it was like, and then it finally like went into my brain, like, oh, because that's hot. That's and so we just sat there and shivered, and we're yelling back and forth about getting hot coffee at the chow hall, and that was all it took to get us through. Whereas that little bit of diversion and it was able to keep me in the game. But at the same time, I said, I didn't even know that. Tony Robbins or any of this stuff that they would teach you. Like you would spend thousands of dollars to go,
try to learn it in like 2 days or
go to a course or whatever. And here it is, my swim buddies telling me about visualization, visualizing something warm.
Warm
I
you
learned
up.
that. I'm like 19 years old, freezing in the surf zone. Yeah. So it's interesting things that come out. It's like some of this is maybe it's already in you.
The problem, here's where we got touched and we got blessed. And this is what I ask people to do all the time. We chose a hard path. We chose the wrench. By choosing the wrench, we chose something hard. So we were forced into this position of suffering or doing something really hard. So those lessons come quicker. The average person they don't do very many hard things, so they don't
Yeah.
understand where those lessons are coming from.
Yeah.
Or when like if you never do anything hard, your baseline is too soft. Everything is
Yeah.
so soft that you don't have an opportunity to practice these things. So
Yeah.
if you come work with me, Chris Smith, or I'm sure with you, dude, you do hard shit, Brad. All
Yeah.
your training's hard, all your
Yeah.
stuff is hard because you know the value of that
Yeah.
hard training, or that little bit of suffering, or that putting yourself in uncomfortable situations. You
Yeah.
understand the value of that. And
Yeah.
then we teach skills to help people get around that,
Yeah.
you know, because it's really challenging to teach people to, well, it's, dude, some things you can't teach is you put yourself in hard situations. You know,
Yeah.
you have to be in a situation where you're like, oh, now I see where this tool is going to be useful for me.
Yeah.
Now I understand that if I take a deep breath while I'm shivering, I'll stop shivering for a while. Now, if I think happy, warm thoughts, I'm less cold. Oh, if I think about something very, very pleasant, or I'm controlling the thoughts in my mind, my feet will stop hurting on a long walk or a long run.
Right.
You know, so we got to put ourselves out there so that we give ourselves opportunity to grow. Without pressure, nothing grows. So we got to create some pressure.
It's a
right?
law of nature,
It's
right?
a law of nature.
Yeah, it's a law.
Without pressure,
Yeah,
nothing
you're
grows.
either growing or dying.
Dying.
And a lot of times too, you even have plants even that are, when they become stressed, they have all sorts of characteristics or fruits or so yeah, it's stress is a part of nature. We have to find the good stresses,
The use stresses,
that and situations that we can put ourselves in to be trained. And so a good stress can be a workout, or it could be your first 10K run, or it could be that and working up into that gradually, you can begin to learn how to use that good stress to have a good impact on you mentally and physically. I mean, we know, even just lifting weights, deadlift, it has a good impact every single time on your bone density. I'll go to the gym. I'll go to the gym, and once a year, someone will say, "Man, isn't that bad for your back?" I'm like, "No, every Monday, deadlift Monday." So I'm using that just as an analogy. Is that putting yourself continually in good stress situations will help you when you do end up in the bad stress situations of pandemic.
Life.
A hurricane.
That's like creating that newer baseline, that foundation that says, hey, man, I've been in worse situations. This one isn't that bad.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, I've done, using weights for an example, heavier weight. This is light.
Right.
It's still weighty, but it's light because you've trained yourself. If you've developed the use stress, you've developed the techniques and stuff to move heavier load, to control heavier things, to do harder things in life. But if you don't develop that foundation or don't develop that baseline, man, life is a lot more stressful for you. So
and it's
out there to help out getting people in the right base, both physically and mentally.
And once you get that foundation, it's like now most of the things I look at it from a certain lens of half full. That instead of trying to look instantly at the negative, I try to measure up the positive. And then if there are negatives, especially if it's something, where, someone else's safety or my own even, isn't called, then, go from there. But it's just, that the whole idea there. I mean, that's great. Yeah.
It's great, man. And we have the ability, man. Trident Mindset has the ability. Like, we have the ability to teach this. And this, I'm telling you, bro, I don't know what happened to me, like, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 years ago or something. Like, I gained an immense sense of clarity of my purpose on this planet.
Right.
Is to find a better way to create deep, meaningful relationships.
Right.
How do that? I coach, I teach. That's what I do.
Right.
Like, that's what I do. Like every day you come talk to me, I'm going to be telling you something to do.
Well, and it's, if you have that kind of that positive mental attitude, kind of a can do, you're going to come at this new problem with a lot more, you're just going to be way more invigorated and wanting to help solve the problem versus if you're coming at it from that negative standpoint where it's like, oh, what was me? I got to do burpees again, or
exactly.
and that translates the burpees over to, you know, life
Yeah.
issues,
Yeah.
you know, the obstacles that we face every day. So yeah, I mean, I can, I mean, definitely relate at so many levels
Yeah.
with, you know, basically building better humans. Yeah.
That's what I'm about, dude. You saw my website, Building Better Humans, man. Like that's all I really want to do. I used
Yeah.
to think that,
Okay.
yeah.
That's where I got that from. Damn.
Yeah. I used to think that I wanted to build like, oh, I want to have a positive impact on 1 billion people. And I just recently been thinking about that. I'm like, I'm not so sure if that's my ultimate goal. My ultimate goal is to create deep and meaningful relationships.
Right.
With hopes that they get planted so deep.
Yeah.
With pressure, they sprout out, they regrow,
Yeah.
and it just
Right.
continues to grow, and that will get get able to reach a large mass of people, which is what I
Mhm.
want. But dude, I totally love connecting with people. It's so crazy. I
Yeah.
didn't really
No,
know that.
I hear you. I'm kind of having to rethink. Um, yeah, I've always been a somewhat social person and love my family, but it's like, I don't know if it's just, you know, the whole pandemic, you know, just made me appreciate family so much more.
Ooh-wee,
And so
tell me.
now it's like, whereas before I might have been half in a conversation or I'm pretty involved with the conversation, you know what I'm saying? Like now, I mean, I really, it's like every moment, you know, you catch yourself. Like every moment really needs to be about connecting with that other person.
Yeah.
Because like, you know, my mom, she's 78. She may not be around next week when I come back, you know, this Friday,
Yeah.
I'm going to have lunch with her. She may not be there. And that's,
Yeah.
you know, I've just been reminded of that so much here, even with her own health. You know, she's had heart issues. So that's, yeah, that's so, you know, between that and the pandemic has really just kind of ratcheted things down to where, you know, we're disconnected at all these levels. And then we've got this pandemic that's telling us to disconnect. But at the same time, like we're hardwired for that deep communication.
Yeah.
We're social creatures. Let's put it that we're social. You know,
Let me give you another exercise, right? This exercise we have in our mindfulness, then between meditation and mindfulness is an active mind making a choice to do something. And you hit on it because this is what I'm going to pass this along to you because I think it'd be great. So next time you feel you're in a conversation with somebody or you're engaged and you really, really want to reach for your phone, you really want to reach for it.
Yeah.
Think about it, look at it, don't touch it.
Yeah.
Ask that person, if it's a person, a question about them or a question about the topic. Just re-engage immediately.
Yeah. I mean, you're catching yourself.
Re-engage immediately.
You're catching yourself, and you're just saying, "Hey, what's the right? Yeah, what's the right thing? What?
Okay.
That's the whole thing. Is that
That's part one. Part B is after you ask the question, listen and pause. What do I mean by that?
Yeah.
I ask the question, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna start talking. And then you're really going to want to fill in the dead space because you're a creature, you love people. You're going to want to fill in the dead space.
Yeah.
But I'm going to ask you to not say anything.
Yeah.
Keep eye contact, stay engaged.
Wow.
And let them talk again.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. That's
Tough one.
Yeah, I'm probably the worst on that. I'm just filling the dead space. Yeah, I feel.
Don't fill it in, man.
Because what am I doing? I'm feeling uncomfortable in the awkwardness of the silence. That like I have to keep the conversation going.
Yeah.
And so that alone is telling that hey, he's kind of awkward over here. He's just trying to rattle something out.
Yeah.
But whereas the other way, I'm having to stop and just say, no, actually, I am listening to you, bro.
Yeah,
I
am listening. Exactly.
I'm listening.
Right.
Your story is
this for the brain. It's good for the brain because it teaches the brain that, well, if I ask the question and they start talking, they're going to trigger something in our brain. And then we're going to immediately start thinking of an answer, which means we're not listening.
You pegged me.
I know already.
You pegged me, and I'm trying to catch myself. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you don't start thinking about the question and only think about the pause, you're going to stay engaged. You're going to want to speak, but don't. Just stay engaged. They'll fill the space because it's an awkward space.
Yep.
The 2 seconds of silence is an awkward space.
Yep.
you know, so just let them refill that. I'm telling you, dude, it's
Yeah.
like so heart lifting and uplift. It's so great.
Yeah.
It's so
No,
great.
I'm the first to do that. And I have to be more aware of that. And a lot of us, when you're like trying to shift gears, like a lot of, most of the day you're in like you got the coach hat on and
Yep.
you're answering questions that go, well, I would do this. I would do this. You're always giving answers back or guidance or whatever. And so, yeah, that we have to be able to realize when it's time to shift gears. Like even say with my mom, just listening to my mom. I can't tell my mom to go out and go do work. Mom, you need to walk more around the apartment, whatever. I need to listen to my mom. And
Yeah.
that's more important than me trying to fill in the awkward space and me trying to give her even coaching advice. I've done it. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Hey,
do
I'm with
well.
you, dude. I'm with
I
you.
do. But yeah, that's powerful stuff. Because too, man, it's just like the time cycle that we're in now too, where we're on this 24-hour time start. Everybody's like, commercials on TV. Everything's like timed, and I don't know. It's like we're always so short of time, and so that's where I get triggered into that even more. It's like, boom, I want to help answer this question or whatever, but then I gotta shift gears with my daughter or my wife, and
Yeah.
it's like I gotta take that coach hat off, man. Take it off quick, and
Yeah.
yeah, being able to shift between those and just listening in general. Well, I mean, our world would be listening, communicating. That's huge,
Yeah.
And,
Tough, man.
so,
But again, we all want to participate. We want to feel valued. We want to feel connected. We want to do all these things. We forget the basis of, and dude, we're levying that time pressure on ourselves.
yeah,
We're making ourselves feel like we have to do a lot of things,
yeah,
right? In the book that I'm reading, that my mentors have been reading, it's about less but better.
hmm
Do fewer things but better. Say no more often to be able to say yes to the things that need to be done, the essentialism. You know what I mean? It's
yeah.
crazy. It's crazy. So we're all works in progress, brother, man. We are all works in progress.
No, I agree,
All have
man.
room to
I'm the
grow.
first to raise my hand, and I mean, we could go on and on with this talking. You can do me all this stuff. I'm like writing notes over here. When I leave out of here, I'm like 1% better. Just
Yeah.
listen to you, seriously.
Thank you.
Because yeah, and I'm that guy too. Like I'll get a few too many things going on because I want to be of service. I want to help, and that gets me into trouble because then I'll be short on other things that should not be short, like my family time or
Right.
so yeah, you got to be really mindful of that, of all of that, so that you're not, again, accelerating conversations. You're taking the time to actually have that conversation.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's more relevant now than ever. I mean, if you watch, even if you just look at TV, it's all like sound bites. Everything's just a sound bite, or you got to get that, or what is it? It's like a sports show, and on the side they put a little ticker.
The ticker,
That says,
yeah.
what's the next thing? So then they can.
Just
So
feed you information. You're like, it's too much information.
I know,
But if
yeah.
you take nothing
So,
out of this COVID thing, man, it's like, hey, it's okay to slow down. It's okay to reconnect with our families. It's okay to have a conversation and listen to the conversation. I
I
don't
hear
need to do all this stuff. I've kind of got myself frothy up and feel like I have to do all this stuff. I don't need to. I can take back some of that control of my life. My question to everybody in the audience, myself, you, everybody is like, okay, so this too shall end.
Yeah.
What am I going to do about it when it ends? Am I going to go back to the rat race that I was before a couple months
Right.
ago? Am I going to listen to the lessons that whoever teaches us lessons right now? Am I going to listen to those lessons and try to move forward as a better human to affect people more positively?
Right.
Am I just going to go racing back to the trauma that I was in before?
Right.
You know?
It's
our choice.
Yeah, who are we going to be coming out of this pandemic? Are we going to be stronger mentally and physically, or are we going to be weaker? I know my family depends on me to be strong mentally and physically. I have to take care of myself. I can't, I cannot regress coming out of this pandemic. I have to be a better person.
Yeah.
at all levels. So yeah, it's more important now than ever. Yeah.
Yeah.
All
Do you feel that the pandemic has given you maybe a little more clarity, a little more granularity, a little more
yeah.
intentionality to where you should be
Yeah.
moving?
Yeah. No, definitely. Even 2 years ago, um, you know, um, definitely, kind of hit a plateau or what have you, or just things that were not going as well as I wanted. Um, and coming into this pandemic was like, oh man, this is big. This
Yeah.
is on. And so yeah, it's at every level trying to the nutrition that I eat to the information that I get and that I digest. It's like, man, I gotta really, we all do. We all got to really help figure this out and
Yeah.
not get, whatever it is, fake news or just friend, information from your buddy over here. And he, what I'm saying is like, we got to look at a lot of different information and try to make the best decisions. Cause we're
Yeah.
going to,
Yeah. I think, I don't know who they is. I'm going to use they. I don't like that word. I'm going to use they. There's been a feeling of, I always say like the space between the known and the unknown is called fear. And
right.
the information that we're getting out is putting us in that space.
Yeah.
We don't know when this is going to end.
Yeah.
There's so many things that we don't know. There's so many things that we are choosing or can't, or that we're not trusting.
Right.
At the outside of this, the opposite end is really kind of scary right now. It's got everybody in a little crazy pace. So having some clarity, some mental toughness, some durability, just a way ahead, having that there for you is just going to make you just a better person. So we got to keep thinking about how selfishly, how is Brad coming out of this pandemic, economic recession, Black Lives Matter, CrossFit thing? How are you coming out of this thing? We got to keep our minds set to the next micro goals so that we can kind of keep moving forward. Tough. It's challenging times, man. I don't know. It's some challenging times right now. Like,
I don't remember anything in my lifetime that's been like this. The recession was bad, and before that, just trying to think back. There just hasn't really been. We've had
some bad things, but it's been like
this.
one bad thing, then another bad thing, not like 3 or 4 bad things right now. It's this big looming monster. But man, we're gonna get over this, dude. We're gonna learn from it.
Yeah.
We're gonna grow from it. We're gonna be stronger for it.
Yeah, that is one. I do have hope for the humans. Is that we've found a way around the plague in the past. There's a lot of different things that we're trying to work on. That our leaders are trying to work on to, even from an environmental standpoint, they're trying to make the world better. So I definitely, err towards the side of looking that, I know that we can work together. We can solve problems.
Yeah. So we got to keep asking ourselves.
You got to do it. Stop talking about it. Do it.
That's what I was just going to say. Is like, what can we do to help?
Yeah,
what can we do to help?
In that project that I talked about with the kids. So,
I'll hold you accountable to that. You know that, right?
I want you to. I want nothing less, because that means I can't slip.
Yeah. It'd be kind of cool if you do
You're
like
helping me. You're my swim buddy.
That's it, man. Look, we need each other. During this time, we just need each other. Like, just need people that you care about to stay connected with, to move forward, and to spread some positivity, bro. It's like crazy out there, but so awesome. Man.
Well, tell us, what's the best way to get in touch with you? Is it with your gym, or is it Trident Mindset, or both? Or
definitely not the gym right now, because we're changing everything, unfortunately. But you can get me at C Smith. The name changes. I didn't realize how much. Wow. Anyway, you can get me at csmith@tridentmindset.com.
Okay. We'll post that up down in the show notes here for you.
Yep.
And we'll post up a link to Trident Mindset. And once you do get the new website, or however the naming works out, let me know. We'll add the new name for your gym and
Mhm.
address. If you guys are in the guys and gals, if y'all are in the DC area, stop by Chris's gym.
Yeah.
Get a walk in there
Yeah.
and just
If you'll get a workout and you'll learn something, that's for sure.
yeah, no, that's it, man. And that's what
Yeah,
it's all about. Our
it
athletes
is.
here,
I
man. It's
love it.
like, we come into any kind of hard obstacle. We're here we're looking to learn. That's our
Yeah.
whole thing is we can never, no matter what age we are, we can never stop relearning, learning new things and relearning the old things, going back to them.
Yeah.
Like you said, going back to that book, from
Yeah.
earlier.
Yeah.
So, well, cool, man. Hey, it has been a real pleasure to have you on the podcast.
Yeah. It's super fun.
I apologize for not having you on here sooner.
It's all right. Hey, man.
But
Like you said, there's some good things that came out of COVID. It's about reconnecting.
no, that's it. I mean,
Like
that's a
reconnecting.
lot. We got shook. We got, hey, wake up.
Yep.
And I'm one of those guys definitely trying to wake up. And I know you are as a leader.
Yeah.
You are awakening others and helping others. And I'm inspired by that, man. Keep
Awesome.
doing what you're doing.
Dude, you
And
keep
all
doing
the
what you're
people
doing.
looking
That
at
may sound
you.
weird. Yeah.
You're doing the right thing, and I'm psyched for you. I'm psyched for you. Yeah.
Hard men make hard choices, but for the right
Hey,
reason.
that's yeah. Hey, yeah. Look at the history of our country, man.
Yep.
Abe Lincoln.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome, bro. Dude, thank you so much, man. I appreciated this.
Yeah. Oh
Great.
man, it's great. So
You need a haircut though. You know that, right?
yeah, that's what Taco always tells me.
Yeah.
I cut it the other day for Taco.
Did you?
Oh man, yeah.
That's awesome.
Anyway,
All
all
right.
right, man.
Thanks, Brad.
Cool. I'm gonna go ahead and stop it now.
Okay.
Let's see. Oop. Yeah, that was good, man.
Yeah, I like conversation, dude. Just talking real talk,
Recording. Here we go.
Yep. I actually have a group that I work with